Hey guys, welcome to a talking head video, which you probably haven't seen in some time from me. I know that the lighting is probably less than perfect. I know that I look less than perfect, which is fine. I don't care at this point, to be perfectly frank. I know that for me, the reason that I'm making this video, before anybody comes for me, I want to be very clear. The reason that I'm making this video is primarily for me. So before you're like, well, that's selfish, it's for me. However, that also being said, I was inspired by a video that I came across yesterday on YouTube. And it was, in fact, I'm kind of ashamed to admit that I don't even remember the name of the person who made the video. However, the point of it is that, what it was this young man's experience. Well, actually, let me even rephrase that. It was this man's account of his life on this particular day. He had titled it a rant. In fact, I think it was actually titled something like "Life Sucks," which is not normally the kind of thing I would click on because I try to keep myself in high vibes and all of that. But for some reason, I felt called to watch it. So I went and I listened to this man, and I realized how many people there are out there that might need to hear what he's saying. Not even might, that I know, because they're like me and perhaps like you, that need to hear this stuff. So I finally the reason, again, I said that I haven't said it yet, but that I'm making this video, imperfections and all, is because I just wanted to make it. One of the biggest issues that I've faced as a person, as I've gone through my life, is just being myself. And I have spent a long time with this idea of perfectionism. It has stopped me from many things in life, or has up until now stopped me in a great many things in my life. And also, I realized for myself that there is this aspect of me, or let me not even claim it like that, but there are some things that I deal with that I know I'm not alone in dealing with, that I feel like, you know what, if this helps, and I genuinely do, if this helps even one person, which was similar to what this young man had said in his video, interestingly to me, because I'm sure that when this human made this video ranting about their depression and their anxiety and the thoughts they were having and how crap they thought life was, I promise you they weren't thinking about the lighting or who they were going to affect. And what struck the crap out of me was that listening to him talk, his only desire really was for this to help someone. And so that touched me, for one, and it really did inspire me to stop with the perfectionism that's on a daily challenge, something that I face in my head. And I said, just make the dang video. So here we are. So I know that the lighting is bad. I know that the angle is like practically up my nose. I know that my hair looks like I just rolled out of bed, because frankly, I did. And so this video, for anyone who's new to my channel, actually for probably everybody on my channel, this might be a bit weird, but from this moment on, guys, the channel is not only going to be meditations, it's also going to be, and it's not an accident that my channel here is named M Organically. It's because I wanted a space, and yes, in part it was selfish, but I wanted a space to document my journey as well as to connect to community. And I remember in the beginning I had wanted to share music and things like that a little bit, and then I kind of scared myself off of it. Being an anxious person, I just scared myself off of the music thing, because what my head told me was, well, you're not a good enough musician though, so like who the hell is going to want to actually hear you sing or do anything really online? You're not trained with those things. You don't have the qualifications. Anybody resonate with what I'm saying? I'm betting some of you do. So the point of my making this video is to, well, one, kind of let you guys know that there will be some talking head videos coming. This being talking head, me talking to you. And perhaps also in that, just also documenting what's going on in my life and things like that. I probably won't, how much of my personal life I'll share, we'll see. It sort of depends on what I'm sharing. But the point is, I wanted to start to, and the reason that I decided ultimately to make this in this like blanketed situation, whatever, that I'm in right now, is because I want for you all to know that the experience that you're gonna go through with me here, if you stick around, whatever, is going to be my organic, authentic experience with my life. And that the things I'm going to share will be insights, my perspectives, my beliefs will be, I'll be sharing things that I like with you guys. I will be sharing what probably when I go through challenges. I really do just want to document my journey. And the reason for that being, if that can help someone, and I really do mean this from the very fibers of my existence, if me documenting any part of my weird friggin' life journey can help anybody, if any of my rants ever happen to help somebody, that is worth the entire world to me. Because something that I used to stress a lot, and sometimes I still do, is what happens if I die and I've done nothing? Can you relate with this? I bet maybe some of you can. And I've reached a point in my life where I'm so done with the perfectionism, honestly. Perfectionism is thrown in our face like every single day. And if you're a woman out there, you will know that it's worse for us than the men. And I'm sorry, guys, but it's the truth. Women have been like overly sexualized or turned into like object. I mean, I could go on and on about that, but I won't. I'm not here to preach about that. But I just feel like we're at a time where people need authenticity. And I don't mean that in the sense of they go home at night and they're like, oh gosh, I wish I had some authenticity out there. But people crave it. They crave it because there's so much of this fake nonsense out there of this, like, you have to be a super Barbie looking model to be sexy and attractive. And I don't know, the blonde hair, blue eyed, perfect waspy female or whatever to be attractive, thin and this and that. I don't even know. Perfect teeth, whatever. Perfect teeth, perfect hair, perfect life, perfect, who knows? I don't know anyone that perfect. Do y'all? Have them give me a call. Wow, that kind of rhymed. I'm a little ADHD, by the way, guys. That's my own, it's not a diagnosis or anything before anybody comes for me. I've always slightly joked around about that though, because my brain does often do a very squirrely kind of blah, 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 but things do usually tie into each other. So bear with me on those tangential rants. Anyway, so the reason for me making this video is kind of twofold. It's one that I want to show an authentic experience. And sorry if my phone slides because I do not have the awesomest tech. I'm literally got this propped up on my laptop. High class. I want to help people through if there's any chance of, so number one, I want to help people. And if there's any chance that me sharing my authentic experience can do that, then it's so beyond worth it for me to humiliate myself or feel like I'm ugly crying, or whatever. It's valuable to someone for me to authentically document my experience, because chances are pretty high that I'm not alone in dealing with some or all of the things that I deal with. And as I said, my goal here in the channel, period, is to help people. That's the only goal of this channel. That was the only ever goal of this channel other than documenting my life. So I wanted to turn on the camera today to start this like as a visual commitment to my new chosen life of being an authentic example of a human, whatever, just being authentic, whatever that means, whatever we look like, if that's your calling. I'm not saying everybody has to do this, but for example, like if you're going to be on social media and you want to make a positive impact to people, my personal feelings, the only way to do that nowadays, really, if you want to meaningfully impact people, is to be yourself and to be authentic. So I'm making this as a visual and whatever to you guys, declaration and commitment to always share authentically. I'm not going to do stuff. I don't do things for views. You guys probably know that if you're all here by now. You already know that. And the second reason, this was the selfish reason, but the second reason for me making this today was because I was feeling kind of crap about myself. I sometimes my depression, which is a thing that I do have, when it kicks up, what it'll tell me is just how much nothing my life has amounted to. And that it's why should I even bother trying, something new, or why should I even bother with anything? So I wanted to come and share that from now on, there will be a bit of changes to the channel, because you're going to see videos that are probably less than perfect. And I will, of course, aim to make them better and better and better as time goes on and as my situation changes. But as things are, I feel it's a really important step for my own personal journey. I know how cliche that sounds, but sometimes you're cringe and you eye roll at yourself. Such is life. But I want to learn from my life. I want the opportunity, weirdly, to learn from myself by looking at myself. I want to have to face myself. And also, I want to be an example that it's okay to be authentic. Because frick, man, I cannot put a number on the amount of people that I know that deal with depression. And yet somehow still people are like stigmatized for having depression. What the heck, guys? Hello? No. And I've just been moved by the amount of depression type content I've seen lately, actually. And it makes me very sad because one of my core beliefs really is that life is fun. And it's not something that we're here to suffer through. I really do believe that. And I don't know, my beliefs are always kind of evolving. But it makes me so sad to think that there's so many people out there that don't even think they have a purpose. Guys, if there's anything that you take away from this video, which you might not take much away because it's just an intro video mainly, but be yourself. You are here for a reason. You absolutely, no matter whether you think in the moment that you have a purpose, I assure you, you have a purpose. And the weirdest part of that is if you'll embrace that, is that realizing that is such a mind trip, because as you accept it, what happens is life shows up to show you evidence of the fact that, yep, finally you're ready to like stop denying who you are. And life gets kind of really fun and interesting for the most part. So from here on out, my mission is to share my life authentically with you guys in the ways that I think it can help you, and or just to document my journey with getting through life, being someone who has, let me just roll these off so that everybody knows the things that are my challenges, so I don't have to, not that I have to do anything, so that I get to not repeat myself every video, but some of the things that I struggle with are an invisible illness, essentially. I have an autoimmune issue. I have psoriasis, which probably not many of you know. I have depression and anxiety. Those are kind of my main things. So those are the things in my life that I deal with. And honestly, I don't really talk about them much. And being here doing this, whether or not it looks like I'm uncomfortable with this, let me assure you, I'm extremely uncomfortable. And my inner critic is going on and yelling about my hair and how I'm doing this up my nose and how y'all are. Let me give you guys a piece of advice if you want it. Take it or leave it. It's no big deal. Let go of what anybody thinks about you. You're here to do you, and as long as whatever you're doing doesn't harm anyone, I think you're all good, and it's between consenting, whatever, you know. I personally just want to help. I always have, ever since I was little, and the only way that we're going to get back to a society, if that's even possible, I don't even presume to know, that feels good as if we're genuinely authentic and we destigmatize these things like mental illness, which I used to have a phrase when I was in high school, and I wish to goodness I remembered what it was. I basically rebranded mental illness. And I remember during this time, we had this weird practice in school where we were journaling to our English teacher. And I remember I wrote about that, and it's always stayed with me. So anyway, I hope that me sharing in my authenticity and in my imperfection will help someone out there to realize that it's okay to be imperfect. In fact, it is not only okay, it is probably largely what makes you you is your perceived imperfections. And that is in fact, and this is something that I'm just learning now to embrace, that is in fact your magic, as bizarre as that might sound to you. So I just wanted to come here to you friends. I don't know who I'm gathering in my hands here, but like, I don't know what, like, anyway, moss, plants, seeds, something, offerings, I don't know. My commitment to you guys is to be authentic. I promise you will always find the real deal here. And, you know, you may have to put up with weird, terrible lighted videos and potentially humor that it results in crickets or tumbleweeds, because sometimes, guys, I think something's really funny and it doesn't come across. It's a oh, I guess you had to be there kind of a moment. So this has been quite a bit longer than I meant to be. I kind of ranted a bit, but I would much rather me just make this video in a commitment almost to just myself even, that let's just move forward imperfectly, because that is the only way we're all going to connect again to each other. And I ultimately do believe that as human beings on earth, we were meant to connect to and with each other. We're not just here to suffer alone in silence with our stuff. Our stuff is what connects us and can make really meaningful connections and can really change people's lives. Like, what also I want to kind of wrap with this is that this kid that I came across, right? He kept on saying in his video a few things. It was like, probably nobody's going to see this, and this won't, probably nobody's going to freaking care. That hit me, by the way. I was like, oh, I've felt that so many times. If there's one thing you take away from this, erase from your mind the idea that, oh, well, no one will care, so I shouldn't, XYZ. Just erase that idea. It doesn't matter. You're here to express yourself, and that is valuable. And it doesn't matter the way that you do that, like I said, barring that you're not harming anyone. I want to be a beacon for people to know that it's okay to be authentic in both our good moments and our bad moments, because bad, using the term kind of loosely, and during the challenges. That's the new hip term, right? So my hot take is authenticity, is be the, I always get the quote slightly mistaken, but the thing about, you know, those who want to change the world are usually the ones who are crazy enough to do it, or I just butchered that, but you guys know the quote. And I'd rather be someone who's taking action, and maybe somebody can learn, and I've maybe saved them lots of suffering just by sharing, maybe. Because I know me listening to this kid really inspired me to make content, to let you all, the people, not whoever may be seeing this, to let you guys know that you're worth sharing, like that your heart, your essence, your everything is worth sharing, and you are here for a reason. Someone will come by your video, your piece of whatever you created. You are absolutely here to create your dreams on earth, and what you have to say is valuable. If you feel called to be a creator, I mean, I guess I'm specifically kind of talking to people here on this type of space, but in general in your life, just don't be afraid of what anybody thinks. Not that it's so simple, but, and I'm also, just as a disclaimer, I'm really trying I'm, oh gosh, struggling with my language. I've recently learned the power of words, and I've had to, I get to shift a lot of the way that I say things. So sometimes when you see me hesitate, it'll be because I'm thinking of how to reword something that I would have said one way, a different way. So anyhow, this video's been quite sufficiently long, but I wanted to let you guys know the update about that's what's going to be happening. I wanted to encourage myself to do something because I was kind of depressed and anxious. And although this video is not perfect, it is me sticking to my commitment that I've already made to myself to not show up just because something isn't just so. I've held myself back for entirely too many years with that, and it's enough is enough now. And I would ask you the same question. When will enough be enough? More importantly, if you're a perfectionist out there, yes, I'm talking to you. Let me ask you this question. What's your criteria for perfection? Because when someone asked me that question for the first time, which it might surprise you, was very recently, only a couple of weeks ago, I was surprised that as a recovering perfectionist, I realized I had no answer. And I bet you don't either. And that might be a bold statement, but I don't think it is. So perfection's a lie, and allow yourself to just live and be the beautiful and perfect being that we all are in our own ways. And your imperfection is your beauty and your power, and being vulnerable about that, guys, although it's cliche as heck right now, vulnerability is your power. It's your freaking superpower, and your uniqueness and your struggles is what makes your life your interesting story, and it's not anything that anyone can take away from you. Full stop. So I don't know. I don't have any mics to drop, and there wasn't anything here mic drop worthy, but that's what's coming. So in amongst the healing meditations and the water videos and the fire videos that I already make, you guys will start to be seeing some videos, hopefully not as terrible looking as this, but honest videos from me, just kind of sharing my life or my learnings. Obviously, I won't make a video if there's not something that I feel like is valuable, but at the same time, I say that with a little bit of a caveat, because for me, a lot of the time, doing the thing is going to mean that for me, I don't look perfect or whatever, and that the video isn't up to my standards. So it's going to be an interesting dance with me. The other sort of funny thing about me that you guys will know if you don't already is that a lot of the time musical references come with the things that I say and think. So just enjoy that, I guess. If you know, you know. If you get it, you get it. So I look forward to the development of this channel, honestly, mostly because I look forward to the people that I could potentially help, like you guys, you know, or any, you guys as the general term, just being anyone out there who struggles with any of the aforementioned things that I struggle with. You're not alone. Your voice and opinion matters. Your dream and your vision for your own life matters. And I would love nothing more than to be able to support anybody out there in this. So that is why I'm here in my fresh face, glory and all. So I love you guys. I hope you have a beautiful and safe rest of your day, whether you're hearing this during your day, your afternoon, your night, whenever, because I know people all across this beautiful wide world. I have friends that I talk to that are 13 hours away from me, and I have friends that are like, 3 hours behind me. So I play with all the time zones a lot. So I wish you a beautiful, beautiful rest of your week, a lovely weekend. I'm going to attempt, I say this as I'm filming this, so I'm going to attempt to force myself to post this despite its imperfections, just to get it out there to y'all so that you guys have the update, so that you know what's coming and you're not blindsided and confused when suddenly there's videos popping up with my face making, being like, or whatever, silly clickbaity things that we do to, draw people in to actually listen to the things that we have to say. But know that you're worth it. Whoever you are listening, you are worth it. Your story matters, and your pain is not for nothing. If you're in pain, just know that. It really isn't for nothing. And I don't mean to say that I want to see anyone ever in pain. Just know that, especially if you're someone who deals with anxiety and depression, I know it's said over and over and over and time again to just kind of hang in there and wait for it to pass. And a lot of people say, that there's light, it does get better. And I've also heard a lot of people say, and honestly, I more resonate with this. It's like, does it ever get better, or do you just learn to kind of cope with it or deal with it? And I'd like to think that there is light at the end of the tunnel, that maybe it does get better. And as a side relevant note to this, just a thing about me, I don't like medications, and there's only one medication that I'm on for my thyroid. But other than that, I don't like medications. But really, I was told recently that I should be on medication for my depression. That being said, I don't want to take the medication. So this journey that we're both kind of embarking on here is going to be truly authentic to the journey with anxiety and depression and everything else that I deal with. So I hope you guys enjoy the ride. That's a weird thing to say considering the subject matters that I just listed, but I am also funny. So sometimes there will be jokes, and sometimes they will be funny, and sometimes they will be freaking tumbleweeds rolling down the thing, and that's fine. So I look forward to where we're all headed, and please don't be shy. Jump into the comments and say hello. Tell me about yourself a little bit, please. I would love to start a community. I think I've said that since the very beginning of my channel, when I was making, when I was thinking that what I would do here was make, and maybe this can be a thing one day, I don't know, but I was going to make these balancing meditation videos. There's a river I go to where I balance rocks, and I do it, I'm just doing it organically, just balancing the rocks. And it's something I do to relax my mind. And I initially was like, everybody's going to want to watch that. Maybe not so much. So anyway, I hope that this video, if it does nothing else, really encourages or inspires you that no matter what you think of yourself, you can do whatever it is you want to do. And you would be honoring yourself by honoring your dreams, doing something. There's some quote, I wish I could remember it, about if you go to bed even 1% better than you were when you woke up, then, you have nothing to worry about. That's not how it goes, but something along those lines. Just know that you're worthy and you're worth it. No matter how cliche it sounds, it's the truth. And that if no one else in your life believes in you, that I do, and I do believe that you're worth it, and I do care. So share where you're tuning in from, because I would like to know what type of crowd I even have. Hi guys, where are you from? And If you guys have topics, by the way, something that anything to do with any of, if like my conditions, or if you want to know, within reason, I'll answer questions about myself personally within reason. But feel free, like, ask away and talk to each other. I also, like I said, would like to know where you guys are coming from in the world, so I can kind of get to know some about you. And if you guys have suggestions for stuff you would like to hear from me, I would love that, because something I often allow to prevent me from making content is just, what am I going to talk about? So thank you. If you've gotten this far with me, thank you so much, really, for putting up with all of this craziness. And I look forward to developing a relationship with you guys. That sounds so unbelievably like an orgy or something, but anyhow, I am out of this gym joint, out like sauerkraut. That's something I've always said. And I really look forward to where this journey takes us all. Please, please don't be shy. Welcome all genders and types of humans and all sorts of whatever labels people want to use. You're all welcome here. Hi, hello, it me. I look forward to this, and I'm going to end this before it gets too crazy long, but thanks for bearing with me. For those of you who have been here since the beginning, holy crap, my OGs, you guys rock. Thank you, and I hope that this continues to entertain you. I look forward to hearing what topics you guys are interested in so I can have some stuff to organize my crazy brain, and I look forward to entertaining you, because there certainly will be comedic content coming within this. And I just pray and hope that it's not the kind of content where I share it and I think it's hilarious and nobody else does. So with that, I am out. Have a beautiful rest of your week, weekend, day, night, and I will see you in the next one.